Welcome to Ngopi with CEO at Channel 10. I'm your host, Daniel Teoh, and today we'll be talking about the natural gas industry in Malaysia. Join us today from the studio is Datuk Dr. Abdul Rahim Hashim. Welcome, Datuk, to the studio.
Thank you very much, Daniel.
Right. Datuk, so we're going to talk a bit about the rise of Malaysia's gas industry, and it's something that not many people know of, as we will review later on.
Yep.
But before we go into the gas, the natural elements, maybe we want to introduce the man. Who is Datuk Dr. Abdul Rahim Hashim? Maybe a brief introduction about yourself, Datuk.
Okay. I've been in industry for the last 40 years. I started off with Petronas in 1976. Stayed on for 32 years. And at the leadership level, I was VP of HR, then subsequently VP of gas business. And the last position was VP of research and technology.
Okay.
And then for the next 5 years after that, I was the Vice Chancellor of University Technology Petronas. And then subsequently, I was the University Malaya Vice Chancellor for 3 years.
Okay.
And that's where I sort of stopped my career at that point in time after about 43 years.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And right now you are the corporate advisor for the Asia Gas Hub.
Correct.
What do you do at the Asia Gas Hub?
Well, it's essentially providing just advisory in terms of where the gas industry is heading, and in terms of what they would like to do as far as the Asia Gas Hub initiative is all about, and where we see the gas industry going forward.
Okay.
So that's really the role that I'm in.
Interesting. Yeah, because of your experience, extensive experience in the industry. Okay. Well, so now that we know the man, Datuk, we go into the topic, right? Let's talk about Malaysia's gas journey. Can you walk us through from discovery to development? How did Malaysia's natural gas industry develop? What are the humble beginnings, if any? And of course Petronas, right? What is the role that Petronas played in those in that journey?
Sure, Daniel. Yeah, I think we started off. There's actually two portions to all this. One is actually gas was actually discovered in early 1960s off Sarawak. Yeah, that was actually a big gas field, which was actually discovered by Shell, Central Laconia Fields at that point in time. And the first project that was mooted because of the big gas field was the LNG project in Bintulu. Yeah. And Shell had the experience of actually undertaking the first the Brunei LNG project, which is just next door. So obviously, in order to monetize such a big gas field, is actually the LNG project. And that started off in 1983. I was involved in that particular project in the monitoring team on behalf of Petronas. That is the sort of the Sarawak story. Then subsequently, you have got gas coming over to to Bintulu with ABF, the ASEAN Bintulu fertilizer plant coming up, and subsequently you can see now proliferation of various petchem projects. Right. Now on the peninsular side, there is this project or gas field that was discovered by ExxonMobil in early 70s, which is the Duyung project. And subsequently, Charigali took it over and developed that particular field. Now, in order to monetize such a gas field, of course, you need a user. Yeah, and in this case, the easiest user is actually to convert into electricity. Yeah, power it and convert to electricity, and that's why the gas pipeline came on shore in the early 80s into Peninsula at Parker, and subsequently the building of I guess this is again another term which we industry use, the slug catcher, and then subsequently the Petronas gas what we call plant was set up. The GPP, the gas plant was set up in Parker or in Kerteh for that matter to what we call process the gas and then get the first gas power plant in Parker itself.
Gas power plant.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
And of course, when you build the gas processing plant, GPP 1 until 4 until subsequently 5 and 6, is you also produce some liquids as well. Yeah, which is in the easiest term is that the so-called LPG, liquefied petroleum gas, which is propane and butane. So they built an export terminal in Kemaman, yeah, to export propane and butane. And subsequently, with a lot of gas that you have, obviously you want also to make sure that it gets transported, right? To first going south to Johor, and then subsequently going up in Segamat, moving up to the Klang Valley,
West Coast,
and up straight to Perak, Kedah, and Perlis. Yeah?
Right.
So that route. So that's together with GBP. Then you develop the so-called the Peninsular Gas Utilization Pipeline, which is 2,700 kilometers high pressure pipeline, and with that, then you sort of encourage the utilization of gas. The base load, of course, is always power plants. Yeah, you have got power plants in Johor, you got power plants in the Klang Valley, and then subsequently up north. Yeah, but at the same time, you also want to utilize the liquids that comes from the gas processing.
Right.
And that's where another sort of product that comes out of it is you call ethane, which is then used for the start of petrochemicals industry.
Right.
Yeah? And that's started off in Kerteh itself. You got the ethylene plant.
Yeah.
And then subsequently, you have petrochemical plants in Gebeng, yeah, industrial. That has to start. And gas is utilized then in the industry as well. So that's how gas actually sort of became the catalyst of industrialization in Malaysia.
Right. And that's the thing, Dato', as I was preparing for our talk show, I know you're an industry expert, so I did a bit of my homework. I realized that actually gas is quite a big part of our revenue, our national revenue. But my perception as before this, as an outsider, as a layperson to this industry, is that oil is the main export. So my question to you is, why is this like that? Why do we know more about oil than gas, when gas actually should be the topic that people talk about?
When you look at oil has been around since 1910.
Okay.
Yeah,
right.
it has been around. The first Lutong refinery in Lutong in Sarawak was 1910. That's when Shell started off.
Right.
So oil has been with us for a long, long time.
Okay.
And the powering up of the nation has always been oil-based.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
And during that point in time also, even your transportation requirements are all from oil.
Right.
So you have got refineries in Port Dickson at that point in time. Right. We built the Petronas first refinery in Kerteh. I was involved in that. And then subsequently the big one in Sungai Udang in Malacca. So oil has been part of our life all along. Yeah. And the issue with gas is that the consumers do not utilize it per se.
Yeah.
It's all about the big industries.
Yeah.
Yep. And you talk about the LNG plant in Bintulu. That's I think at that point in time, I think one of the largest single site. In fact, it was at that point in time the largest single site LNG producer. And now they produce about 30 million tons. Yeah. And it's all for export. Yeah.
Right.
To Taiwan, to Japan, to Korea, and subsequently to China.
Right.
Yeah.
So you're saying that for the public, yes, it's natural that they know more about oil because they use it. But for the industry, gas is the lifeline there.
Correct.
Right.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
And so to talk about gas and all that, you mentioned just now a lot, right? And I think a lot of people are trying to understand, to unpack a little bit of that. In terms of the infrastructure, to be able to do all that, you mentioned about the network of 2,700 kilometers over here. How are these infrastructure put in place, and what is their impact on our national economic growth?
Oh, huge amount, Daniel. Right. Because it was actually a phased sort of approach. Yeah. First, I mentioned about the pipeline, the propane butane pipeline that goes to the Tanjung Sulong Kemaman to export the butane. So that was the first phase. And then subsequently it went to Segamat and went down south. Yeah, that's the second phase. Okay. And then the third phase was going up onto the west coast. Yeah. So and this actually stimulated the industrial growth of Malaysia using gas has the to fuel up. Yeah. Right. The main thing is actually to fuel up. Okay. But I think more important, sometimes we forget, is that it is used also with the extraction of ethane to start off our ethane, propane and propane, butane and propane, is to start off the petrochemical industry. Right. Very, very, very important, because for that, it actually stimulates another growth area for the whole country. Yeah. Right. So that's where we are, and subsequently the industries themselves. I mean, if you take, for example, Malaysia, sheet glass, it actually uses gas for the production of sheet glass. It's actually the best fuel for it because it's clean. Yeah, right. It's much cleaner than, say, diesel or even fuel oil for that matter. Yeah, and of course much cleaner than coal. But certainly coal came on board into powering our requirements. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and you mentioned industrialization, and of course, in order to industrialize, you have to electrification. You have to go through that first. As a layperson, I can't quite imagine how gas contributes to that. So, can you paint a picture for me here and try to explain how does natural gas contribute to our industrialization, and especially when it comes to powering homes and factories, things like that?
Because at the Petronas level, what we do is that we pipelines with the so-called high-pressure gas. Okay. Yep. But subsequently, it needs somehow rather to be to depressure it to the requirements of the industry. This is where the formation of Gas Malaysia Berhad came about. Okay. Yep. So they take care of the so-called the reticulation of gas, much lower pressure. They will actually market it to the various industries. Yeah. So you have another group, another set of industry that comes out in terms of reticulation of that gas. Okay. Yeah. Right. Of course, gas in some instances has gone to the homes, but it is an expensive proposition because then you have to pipe up gas, and our consumption of gas at home is actually very minimal. It is better for you to use the liquefied petroleum gas, which is LPG, versus pipeline gas. Unlike in the Western countries where they use it for heating. In our case, it's just only for cooking. All right. Yeah, so it is very minimal. So it is not economical to pipe gas straight to the homes. I see. Yeah, except for the big users, which is the industry. Yeah. So the industry gets gas in terms of powering up or fueling their various operations.
Can you give maybe one or two examples of big industries that rely a lot on natural gas?
Oh, one I mentioned about Malaysia sheet glass.
Right. Okay.
They use it quite a bit. Of course, the major user really is the power plants.
Power plants.
Yeah, you got Kappa, you get Segari, you get all these power plants that came up was actually using gas upfront.
I see. Yeah.
So almost 80-90% of it is actually powering of producing electricity for the country.
Right. Yeah. Okay. And there's also talks about Malaysia trying to position itself as a regional gas hub. Regional gas hub. Yeah. And I'm trying to get also my head around what does this mean, because as I understand it, our neighbors also have gas. And I think they also have maybe similar ambitions. They want to become regional gas hub. Given our infrastructure today, and Malaysia is the chairman of ASEAN, the dynamics between the neighboring countries, is this a realistic aspiration? Can it be done?
Absolutely, it definitely is an area I think, but we should sort of implement it as quickly as possible. Now, the gas I guess story as far as Malaysia is concerned is that when we have gas, the pricing is been administered. Yeah, it is not at market price except for the big users now. So, and then we have got pipeline operator, which is Petronas Gas, essentially, is almost, quote unquote, is a monopoly. Yeah, but that was required to make sure that there's enough infrastructure to transport gas to the users, right? But now it comes to a point where if you want to liberalize the market, which is deregulate the market and get gas prices at market, so that people become more competitive in that sense, then you have to liberalize the markets.
Right.
Yeah. In order to liberalize the market, then the issue is that you have somehow or other got to put, I guess, a lot of requirements in that. Yeah. First, we have got to make sure that the infrastructure that we have is able to be accessed by all players.
Okay.
This is where the third-party access (TPA) comes on board. We have done that, right? But the utilization is not as great as it was to be. Yeah, because the issue is that if you are a big user, I mean, like take for example TNB, who uses a lot of gas and so forth, they could actually bring in a parcel of LNG at Sungai Udang, through the regasification terminal, the RGT, or even to Pengerang. There's another RGT there, and then use the pipeline under the TPA rules and so on, and power their power plants.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
But in order to do that, you must make sure that it is being the TPA is being regulated. The rule book is clear, so that everybody is aware in terms of what it would cost in order to bring this so-called parcel of LNG or gas into your systems.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So this is one of the areas that we need to look at in terms of to make sure that the gas hub is working in that sense.
Okay.
And why is it important also is that we have got a lot of users now in the marketplace. They are being, I guess, I wouldn't say constrained, but the gas prices are not quite transparent in that sense.
Not quite transparent. Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
it's quite opaque. Opaque
And this
means,
is the domestic market.
in domestic market. So if you want to make I guess the industry competitive and so forth, you have somehow or other got to liberalize the market. For that, people can actually buy and sell gas on the exchange. Yeah, they can, I guess, swap if they want to, or hedge if they want to, and even trade gas for that matter. So you provide that sort of platform, and we have the infrastructure. Yeah,
Okay.
we have the LNG, we have got the pipelines, we got the terminals also to do that. Maybe what we are lacking is in terms of size of the market itself. I mean, if you consider Malaysia, actually the gas market size actually is moderate.
Okay.
It's not as big as, say, the European market or even the US market for that matter. So that's my belief is I think that's how we should go ahead with it.
Right.
Yeah. And first you started with local, and then subsequently we have the connectivity to Singapore or even to Thailand or even to Indonesia, then it becomes regional.
Right.
Yeah. Right. So and that will then make sure that the gas hub is truly with Malaysia.
Right. You mentioned many things on that the Malaysian natural gas industry needed to do in order to become competitive and to transform itself, above and beyond national, just go to the regional level. But we also know that the Malaysian industry has been liberalizing for a few years now, right? Can I get your comment on the progress so far? Are we doing okay, fast enough, or too slow? And what do we need to do apart from connectivity and things like that? What do we need to do to quicken our pace to become a regional gas hub?
I think this is where the Asia Gas Hub initiative comes on board.
Okay.
Now you have to have to build a platform where people actually can trade. It's almost similar to what we have done for the palm oil futures.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
In Bursa, where Malaysia is at that point in time, I think probably the largest producer of palm oil in the world. Now we are second, but nonetheless we have got so-called supply, and we have also got the big companies. and we also have people who can trade, the palm oil on an exchange which is transparent, which is then is market related, and also at the same time there is physical support as well.
Right.
I mean, you just don't do futures without having your own supplies.
Of course,
And that is globally accepted as far as palm oil is concerned on Bursa. So what we are saying is that can we not do something similar for gas? Since we have got the physical gas and we have got the infrastructure, and we have the market as well here, and of course, as I mentioned, the connectivity is important. Because without connectivity, then you are trading a lot of it on LNG parcels, which are built bulky, which is not conducive to sort of day-to-day trading.
And you're saying digital platforms like the Malaysia Gas Exchange is a better way to trade gas and to price it as even and in the future this is the way forward. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Another question, Dato', I wanted to ask about is obviously sustainability. It's something that people care about, talk a lot about. Malaysia has also made certain pledges, right, in that direction. The word is carbon neutrality, right? I don't know whether what's your comment on that. I see you smiling. But how does natural gas fit into the conversation, the broader sustainability conversation?
Okay, first of all, I think we have to know in terms of the overall picture, get the right narrative on this particular one. Okay? Now, with gas, in terms of the carbon emission, which is really carbon dioxide, is actually half of coal, right? Okay. Half of coal. Of course, you can't compare with the renewables because renewables have zero emissions and so on and so forth. But for Malaysia, it's inadequate as far as renewable energy is concerned. We don't have enough wind. We don't have enough acreage for solar for that matter. And then what do we rely? Of course, we rely on the next available, affordable, sustainable commodity is actually gas. Okay. So if you look under the National Energy Transition Roadmap, NETA, by 2050, we are supposed to consume, total requirements for energy, for power requirements is 56%. From now, it's about 40 to 56%.
Okay.
Now, that will actually help us in our journey towards, the net zero by 2050. At least the roadmap is there. And of course, with this particular gas hub and also ensuring that the infrastructure has got gas, you can then blend in also hydrogen at the same time. So you can have a blended hydrogen gas, product in that, and going into the so-called transition to the hydrogen economy in the future.
Right.
So this is a very, very important point to make sure that we, as far as Malaysia is concerned, have got a roadmap towards sustainability. And why I smile now is that you can't actually remove carbon 100% from this world, because everything you touch is all carbon. It's considered carbon. It's just the emission side of it. We just have to look at the emission side. So it is a very, very important commodity to have in terms of achieving the targeted net zero emission by 2050.
Right. Okay. We are almost near the end of this session, but I just want to talk a little bit about your experience with the International Gas Union. You were its president at the highest level of the office. I think you have seen the global gas industry in action, right? So what do you think are the global best practices or lessons that we can adopt here back home?
I think the most important is that, of course, you have to have open access to infrastructure. So a lot of time you find that in those countries, they have sort of demarcate or sort of liberalized that particular portion of infrastructure. It's not, they were just like us essentially. I mean, if you take TNB, for example, as an example, maybe TNB people don't like me to quote this, but yeah, for TNB you have got the power plant, and then you have got transmission, you have got distribution. But now they have separate those companies and so on and so forth, those sectors. So you have the distribution is a separate entity. So you open that for third party access. So that's very important as far as access is concerned. Okay. But most important is that then you have a platform for people to be able to trade, be able to buy and sell that particular commodity. In terms of, in this case is gas. But most important is also governance side. You have to have an operator which is not linked to and not just one party, but it consists of people who are stakeholders in that particular industry, who actually governs the whole what do you call initiatives. So the three main areas is very important. Open access. You have the platform for market, for market, and you have the regulatory group that looks at in terms of there is what do you call issues relating to that, how you resolve it. Conflict resolution. How do we then ensure that the rule book is there, and making sure that things are above board.
I see. Okay. And I'm to my last question right now, trying to understand your vision for the Malaysian gas industry, and what do you have to say in regards to that, your vision, and share with our viewers for today.
Oh, the vision for gas is that it's just no longer just a commodity or a fuel. It's actually a catalyst for nations' development. It has shown that. But at the same time, it can go to the next level of making sure that Malaysia becomes the gas hub of the region.
Okay. All right. Okay, thank you, Datuk, for your time. I'm joined by Datuk Dr. Abdul Rahim Hashim, Corporate Advisor to the Asia Gas Hub and ex-President of International Gas Union. I'm Daniel Teoh, your host for Ngopi with CEO at Channel 10. See you again.